Episode 3811, Speak Your Child's Language.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. It's Friday. Are you excited? Yes, and that means it's Confessions of an Upset Mama. And I can't say I'm really upset, but we're going to talk about something that's very important. Speak your child's language. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, have you marked your calendars? Oh, wait, maybe you need to look at your calendar. Do you know what today is? Can you believe we are finishing off the first full week of September? Okay, Monday through Friday, first full week. I know we got to get Saturday and Sunday in there, but we will. It's coming, right? The weekend is here. But when you look at it, it's like in a blink, it's going to be mid-September. Then we're talking about October. We're going to be into football season. U.S. Open is coming to a close. Did you see the horrible, oh my goodness, the semifinals of Sabalenka and Jessie Pegula? Oh, my heart goes out to Jessie Pegula. But congratulations to Sabalenka. If you like her, she's going to be in the final. You can watch her on Saturday. Don't know the time, but I believe it's going to be on ESPN. And if not there, it'll be on your regular station. Or you know what? Wherever you binge watch your sports, head there. Anyway, I digress, right? Because you know I love my sports. And I do a lot of sports analogies here at Create Your Now. Why? Because it's all about relevancy. And I think regardless of where we are, when you look at sports, it kind of neutralizes the conversation. It doesn't matter if you're really for a team or against a team. It's talking about the strategies, the rules, what goes into it. And when we think about our kiddos, we've got to look at our kiddos with strategies. We've got to look at our kiddos with rules and how we're going to discipline, how we're going to raise them. What are our values? What do we want to pass on to them? What's the living legacy that we are showing from our everyday, our daily lives? And specifically about communication. Because, you know, talking to your child like you do your friends or your spouse isn't going to cut it. Kids aren't little adults. They process, they feel, and they need communication on completely different levels. If you want them to truly hear and respond, you have to speak your child's language. Because you see, parenting isn't about one-size-fits-all advice. If so, there would have been someone centuries ago that would have written a tell-all, how to raise the best child ever book. And all you would have to do is read that. It would be this huge philosophical whatever, probably written in Latin. And you'd be like, I don't even know what it's saying. But you see, it's not a one-size-fits-all. We don't have the manual how to raise a kid. Why? Because each child is so unique. And when you look at what you're trying to do with your child, how you want to raise them, it truly is about tuning in to who your child is and meeting them where they are and who they are becoming. Head on, heart first, and in ways that make sense to them, not to you. And sometimes silence speaks the loudest. It's amazing. One of my kiddos, well, actually all of them, at one point in their life has told me, Mom, you know what scared me the most is when you didn't ever say anything. You were just quiet. Like you didn't react. Not good, bad, or ugly. Like there was nothing. And they were like, I was scared to death. I didn't know what was going to come. It was the apocalypse. If I was going to die, obviously, theoretically, right? We're not talking for real. But, you know, they're like, oh my goodness, she's not responding here. She's not reacting the way I think she should. Well, you see, parenting, yeah, there's not a one size fits all for that either. Just like raising kids. And all of this comes from the parent willing to play the point. And what do I mean by that? Play the point. Let's talk about tennis. When you're watching these matches, okay, even in doubles, you got 4 people, right, on the court. But in singles too, there is a strategy. There's a game plan for every opponent, not just a one size fits all. Oh, I'm going to go up against Jesse Pegula, so this is how I'm going to play. Oh, I'm going to go up, against Sabalenka, and this is how I'm going to play. It's going to be the same as Pegula. No, it's not. It's going to look different. What about Amanda Anisimova? If you go up against her or Osaka, is it all going to be the same? No, it's not. And that's the point. You've got to play the point. Play the point for the child who is in front of you. And that is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Play the point. A parent who raises a child well is looking at whether or not their child's needs are being met and being able to incorporate those child's needs on an individual basis and play the point for them, not for anyone else. How do you help them catch the ball? You're going to throw a ball differently to a 2-year-old than you are to a 22-year-old. You just are. Or a 42-year-old, right? So what does it look like to play the point? How do you respond to your child in a way that lands, that sticks, and actually fuels connection and growth? Because that's what you need to do with your kids. You need to be able to raise them up, grow them, stretch them. And it doesn't matter the age, right? But let me tell you this. You cannot talk to a 2-year-old in the manner that you would talk to a 22-year-old or vice versa. Have you ever tried to talk to your 22-year-old? Okay, let me tell you this story. My children, we have 5. They're wonderful. They're all technically adults in all forms or fashion. That means they can drink legally. They can do everything. So they are 21 years or older. Yes, they are. Scary for this mama. But I'm like, yep, I actually got them through everything. And we are on our last child who's in college right now. And he is on point to graduate this coming May of 2026. Early, by the way, just in 3 years. Amazing. So proud of all my children. I tell you all that because then now we have 2 grandbabies. They are fabulous, wonderful, a grand boy, a grand girl. Oh my goodness, I just want to snuggle with them. They're my minis. They truly are. But here's the thing. If I go and try to talk to my 22-year-old the way I talk to my 22-month-old, oh my goodness. Do you think anything's going to stick or land? No. I'm going to get the biggest roll of the eyes, the biggest, I'm putting my phone up, Mom, because I'm not listening to what you have to say. I could care less. Oh, wait, I have my earbuds in. So I'm just going to turn on the I can't hear you cancellation mode, cancel Mom out, and I don't have to hear anything except what's playing on my phone. Yep, that's what's going to happen. Because you can't baby talk older kids and you can't adult talk younger kids. So how do you play the point for them? Number 1, get clear on their emotional tune. Children don't just need words. They need emotional resonance. What's their tune that you're singing to them? What's going on below the surface? Maybe it's fear, excitement, confusion, frustration, joy, happiness. Maybe it's downright lack of confidence, right? I'm not good enough. You can't slap on a generic, calm down, just it's all right, just calm down, or be good now, just go out and be good and expect them to get it. Instead, acknowledge what they're feeling explicitly, meaning spell it out. And what does it look like from a parent's perspective? Well, observing the child's energy and mood first before jumping to fix or to instruct them in a certain manner. You've got to see, okay, what's going on here? If they're shutting everybody out, most likely they're going to shut you out. So maybe you just need to show up and give them a great big hug. Maybe you need to just snuggle with them. Maybe you need to go on a drive. So as you're driving, all of a sudden they start talking. Or maybe it looks something like this, saying something like, I see you're really upset now. That's okay. I'm here if you want to talk. And then what about validating their emotional weather so they feel understood, not dismissed? You know, one of my pet peeves, I guess if you want to call it that, is anytime somebody says, you're dismissed. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You don't get to dismiss me. I get to choose when I leave. You do not control me. You do not dismiss me. And I think that's important when we look at our children, that we should not, as parents, think that we get to dictate what they do. No. They need to be heard. They need to be seen. And this isn't coddling or weakness. It's the foundation for any communication to be heard and trusted. So get clear on their emotional tune. What is their emotional resonance? Number 2, use their developmental code. Each child is wired differently, and their brain is scanning the world uniquely based on age, personality, right? Where they are on the spectrum of very obvious things in the world, which we could be here forever if we had to go into all of it. I mean, what makes sense to a 3-year-old bombarding you with why? Why? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Will pitch differently to your 10-year-old or your teenager. They're going to ask deeper questions, not just, why, mommy? Why? Why, grandma? Why? Why, Gigi? Why, auntie? Right? They're going to go through this. But a 10-year-old is going to say, why does it have to be this way? It doesn't make sense to me because last time you told me this and this time you're telling me this. It doesn't add up, grandma. It doesn't add up, mom. And the teenager, they're going to be like, talk to the hand, walk away. We'll talk later, mom. Over and out, right? So speak in phrases and methods that line up with their stage of life. Simpler explanations, concrete examples. Be relevant with their talking. Learn their language. If you've got a tween or a teen, you better know all those little acronyms that they're texting with. As soon as they get a phone, man, you need to know what they're saying. And if you don't know, own it and ask them. Then number 1, you'll never forget it. And number 2, you'll be the cool parent who does know it. And so when the other parent's like, I have no idea what my child's talking about, you'll be like, oh, well, I know it's this. And they'll be like, how did you know that? And you're like, I listened to this crazy chick called Christiane. And no, but seriously, right? That's called common sense, but we don't exercise it because we're not thinking about it. It's like, I should just know this stuff. No, you shouldn't. You have to learn it from somewhere. Not everybody is meant to be a parent, but everybody can learn to parent. Did you hear me? Don't give me those hate emails. But it's true. You can learn to be an incredible parent, but not everybody is an incredible parent. So where do you want to fall on the spectrum? So what does that look like from a parent's side? Breaking down complex concepts into bite-sized, relatable chunks. What did I say? Relevancy. That's the key. Maybe it's using stories or analogies or visuals tailored to their understanding. If you've got a sports fanatic child, use sports analogies. Why do you think I use tennis or football or golf or basketball? March Madness only. I'm not really big basketball fan, but we'll leave that for another episode. Hockey. What is it? What does your kid relate to? Soccer. Matching your tone and energy to their level, not just your own agenda. I can be very, very high energy, but if I come to my child who's a little bit quieter and comes across more, not necessarily calm, but passive in the way that they handle things, meaning they don't like conflict. If you sit there and go, well, what happened today? You got to tell me, what was this? They're going to sit there and go, whoa, deer in the headlight moments, and they're going to shut down. They won't say anything. They're going to turn around. They're going to close the door to their bedroom or wherever they can hide out from you, and that's going to be the end of it. But if you come to them and say, Sue, I don't know what's going on, but just know Mom's here. If you need something, please let me know, because I know sometimes life gets rough. I don't know what's happening with George and Billy, whoever they are, whatever's happening, right? Whatever the storyline is. But I'm here for you. Know that. I'll always love you, and you can come to me with anything. Do you see the difference? Like, wow, you got to do this. You got to tell me what's going on. I know something's bothering you versus I'm here for you, babe. I'm here. Mom wants to listen. Trying to explain long reasoning to a toddler, they're going to also have their deer in the headlight moments. Don't do it. So adjust your communication like a pro DJ adjusting volume and tempo to the crowd. Why do you think a DJ is so great and people love them? Because they feel the energy. And they know what is expected, right, from them. They know how to rile up a crowd in a positive manner, by the way. And then they also know how to, bring it down a little bit. You got to be a DJ in your own house. And finally, number 3, create intentional feedback loops. This one's where many parents slip. You say something, but how do you know they got it, right? You're like, oh, yeah, they just got it. No, kids rarely just nod and say, got it, Mom. It's all right. You got to check in with them. more than just at the time of conversation. You got to follow up maybe an hour or two later, not for a long conversation, but just saying, hey, how you doing? That's it. Or just give them a hug. Invite their voice in and reflect back what you hear. If you hear that they are hanging out with the wrong crowd, but they don't know how to, really escape it, so to speak, then reflect back and say, Sue, I hear that you're just kind of a little bit confused and you want to hang out with these people, but they're not the in crowd, but you really do like them. Is that what you're telling me? Is this where you're, how you see things? And if it's not, then Sue will say, well, Mom, you got it all backwards. I don't want to hang out with them. I want to hang out over here, but they don't like me. And they say I'm not good enough. They make fun of me. Then you get the real story. That's important. And when you do that, it shows respect for your child's perspective. And it reveals where you might need to clarify or pivot, what you say, how you show up for them. So what does it look like from our perspective as a parent? Pause and asking, how do you feel about that? And when you ask a question, by the way, be quiet. Just sit there. And if you have to, bite your tongue or put your hand over your mouth. Let the question sink in. Let them formulate a thought. Don't try to initiate, oh, wait, this is what you were saying, right? I know because I've done it. I do it with my spouse. I do it with my kids. I've done it with my grandbabies. Now, I'm much better now. But really, really back in the day, the early days, I was like, and I would just go like nonstop. And at one point I was like, Christiane, you really need to shut your mouth and listen to what they're telling you. Oh, what a concept, right? What do you think we can do next? What do you think your next step is? Close your mouth and be quiet. Open up both ears. That's why you have 2 ears, and listen. And then you can reflect, right? Create those intentional feedback loops. What about encouraging those questions without judgment or rushing? Maybe it's, I've got a question for you. I don't know what you're going to think about it, but I just want you to think about it. And then we could talk about it later if you want to. And ask them a deep, open-ended question, not a yes, no. Yes, no's get you nowhere. It's got to be a deep thinking one. And then another thing is repeat or rephrase their response to confirm your understanding, how you see it based on what they told you. Because when your child feels safe to express themselves, communication becomes a 2-way street, not a one-sided street, right? Not a one-way street. You got to have the 2-way exchange, not a one-sided lecture. And most of the time, we as parents, we like to lecture. Why? Who doesn't like to hear their voice? Look at me. No, I'm joking. But no, really, let's be honest. We like to hear our voices. But guess what? So do our kids. So let their voice be heard. When it comes down to it, parenting isn't a one-size-fits-all, right? It's precision work. And parenting doesn't have to be exhausting or confusing once you stop trying to talk at your child the same way you do at adults. Sometimes I think we feel as an adult, we have to prove ourselves and say, I made it. I get to do this. I get to. No. We don't do that to our kiddos. It doesn't help. Instead, show up with specificity, knowing the unique wiring, their unique feelings, and the needs of the child, your child, right in front of you. Because when you speak your child's language emotionally and developmentally, and you check in to make sure the message lands, like they actually got it, then you're not just giving orders or advice. You're building trust. You're building understanding and a real relationship with your kiddos. And that's what matters, Mom. That's what matters, Dad. That's how parenting stops being hard and starts being something powerful, clear, and effective. Remember, each child is a different conversation. So play the point. Tailor your approach. How are you going to serve to them? How are you going to speak to them? How are you going to respond to them? And watch them listen, respond, and grow right before your eyes. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.